stage, Mike Carrion.
Yes, sir. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the NBA Bit. Hope you guys had a good little start to the week. What's today? Wednesday. Today's Wednesday. They're all going together, baby. We got a fun one. We've got some real trades. Slap it up. A lot of fun stuff happening. Let's first of all, who's here? You know what I'm saying? If you were in the chat, make yourself known. We got our guy Sneeps here. Matic Otto, yeah, Marcus Jordan. Tough night last night. That's a good comment there by Matic Otto. We got our guy Bob Franklin in here. Patty Coin, fresh off a little underdog dub over there. We got Snoopaloop. Happy National Shower with a Friend Day. Okay, all right, chill. Stubbs is here. We got DJP Regulator. We got Maddie Harrison in here. Good to see everybody. Just a couple of business things, and then we'll get into the show and start talking some trades. If you missed yesterday's show, the 89 Cavs, we did that in the afternoon. You can go catch that up on the podcast if you'd like, or just, go rewatch it. Like the video. Leave a comment. Do all those things, right? Today or the rest of the week, right? Friday, we'll be back with the NBA Bit. We'll also, I think we're going to do a little trade deadline show tomorrow afternoon, maybe around 2:30, maybe 2, and roll that through the trade deadline. So come hang out for that. And then, of course, live before lock and all of that stuff. So, yeah, man, we got just craziness and chaos here. Whoa, Matic Otto feeling the love, gifting some Bit memberships. That's what I'm talking about. All right, that's enough. Listen, I was prepared last night. So you guys know on Tuesday nights, I host trivia at a bar in New York City. But you know what? Last night, I was dialed in. I thought for sure we were going to have a move happening. I was ready for an I even created a thumbnail. I was ready for an emergency stream last night. I stayed up until midnight, and then we didn't get it, so I went to bed. But it seems like, it was funny. When Weisberg was on the show on Monday, I mentioned that Zach Lowe did a video over the weekend, right? And he mentioned something. It was just sprinkled it in there at the end of the video. God, it was good to have Zach Lowe back. And he said, like, Phoenix still on the phone with Phoenix, or people are still calling Phoenix. And initially it seemed like they're calling Phoenix because, yeah, Phoenix is trying to move off the Bradley Beal business to get Jimmy Butler so they can make a playoff push. But he also said, hinted at maybe Phoenix would be moving off of some people. And then all of a sudden, some real momentum here for KD to be on the move. So we're going to we'll take a look at what Jake Fisher, who was reporting along with the Stein line, Mark Stein. Of course, we're going to go to Dunk Central over here. But according to the Fish, let's start calling him the Fish. KD ending up at Golden State and Jimmy Butler ending up at Phoenix are in play and gaining momentum. One reason for the significant uptick in KD, chatter sources said, is that trading him appears to be the only way for Phoenix to acquire Miami's Jimmy Butler before Thursday's deadline. Why would the Suns want Butler if they no longer have KD? No one asked by the Stein line has been able to furnish a good answer to that question, but rumbles persist that a scenario transports Jimmy from South Bay to Phoenix with KD moving back to the Bay Area is indeed in play. Now, the other rumor being floated around there, and if you guys checked out Hoop Sense, my co-host Trayvon Edwards seemed very bullish on this Dallas deal. He kept saying, like, we think Dallas might be making another move. And I was just like, man, I don't even know what that move could be. Jimmy Butler was floated around there. And then they made a move yesterday, right, where Quentin Grimes went to Philadelphia while Caleb Martin's deal went to Dallas. And I would argue Quentin Grimes has been playing a little bit better than Caleb Martin this year. Maybe Caleb Martin can create a little bit like Grimes, great defender, more of a standstill shooter, right? Caleb Martin can do a little bit more on the ball, a little shot creation. So maybe that's part of it, maybe. And then also our guy, Yabusele. It sounds like the Sixers are going to be able to sign Yabusele, which is exciting because of this deal. It gets him under the cap. That being said, I thought that was the deal. I thought that's what Dallas did. And now there's a little bit more KD buzz floating around. Now, I don't think Dallas is likely. I don't think that's where he's going. The Golden State stuff really sounds real. And there's been some interesting comments over the last couple of days, right? We mentioned on the 89 Cavs show yesterday that Golden State, like a month ago, right? Everybody who's ever worn a Golden State jersey came out and said, guy, we're not going to sacrifice the future. Are you kidding me? Well, why would we do that? Why would we make a trade that would ruin the future. And then, like, you fast forward 14 days, and Steph Curry was like, we can't keep doing this. And then Brian Windhorst, fingers up, said yesterday on ESPN that everybody outside of Steph Curry is on the table. Everybody outside of Steph Curry is on the table, which means hashtag new media, Draymond Green might be out there. Boston Base, thank you for the super chat. He says Mike's head floating with that black on black. Do I need to give you more neck? You need more giraffe energy? And then Weisberg in the chat says, generally shocked the Warriors are willing to trade Dre. I know it's potentially for KD, but they've never indicated until now that they're willing to pull the trigger. I think there's real frustration in what Golden State's been doing. I mean, you see they have like one of the worst offenses in the league right now. They're like, and Draymond's not playing, right? Draymond's not playing. So I'll be fascinated. I think the real question here is just like, why would Phoenix do it? I know Jake Fisher pointed it out there. Why would Phoenix make this move? Right? Because it's not really helping your cap or anything. Unless KD is indicated, like, listen, guys, if you like really want Jimmy Butler, you can get me out of here. But I don't understand the move for Phoenix. So if anybody can enlighten me on that, I don't really know what that does for the Phoenix Suns. And honestly, you put Steph and KD together. Here we go. Breaking news. Steph and KD together raises the ceiling for Golden State. I imagine this deal has to include Wiggins. Wiggins going to Miami, I would think. Kuminga's probably going somewhere too. And then, I just so let's actually look at the standings here for a second, because I think that will be helpful in like just looking at these deals long term. And I think what Golden State is doing right now is they're looking at the West and they're like, yeah, man, OKC is really good. OKC is really good. But anybody else, like, can we beat everybody else? Like, they're not. We just saw Houston drop 2 games to the Brooklyn Nets. But anyways, let's go look at the Western Conference here. So right now, Golden State is sitting 1 game over 500, 25-24. Same exact record as the Phoenix Suns, same exact record as the Sacramento Kings. So I ask you, you take KD off of the team and you add Jimmy Butler onto the team, where does Phoenix finish here? And you look at the teams behind them. You got Dallas is behind Phoenix right now. Golden State's behind Phoenix. And then San Antonio, who just beefed up their roster with De'Aaron Fox. How many games back are they? They are 3 games back. So that's still a lot of ground to make up. But I don't know. Like, do you think they could make a legit jump here? Snoop says 3-way trade and Vooch gets to Golden State too. I mean, listen, if they do add somebody, if the Warriors remove Wiggins, Draymond, and KD from their roster, right? Because I think in this move, Draymond goes to Phoenix. So now you have Draymond, Jimmy, and Book. Man, I don't know. So, anyways, let's do Golden State first. Again, Golden State is only 2.5 games behind the Clippers for the 6th seed, right? And then they are 5.5 games out from the 4 seed in Denver. If Golden State adds KD, where do you put them? Like, are you taking them over? Are you taking them over the Timberwolves right now? Are you taking them over the Minnesota Timberwolves? Put it in the chat. Are you taking them over the Timberwolves? I think I am. If Golden State makes those moves, if somehow KD and Vucci Mane get there, I think I am taking Golden State over Minnesota. Let me ask you this. Are you taking Phoenix over Golden State? Because I don't think I am. And is it Brooklyn that controls the Phoenix pick? I don't really know. Like, I feel like this is real danger zone for the Phoenix Suns right now. This is a real danger zone. Losing a couple of games. Did they win last night? Actually, I forget. I know. Oh, no, they didn't play last night. They played tonight, where KD is already doubtful for tonight's game. So I think Phoenix could be in some serious trouble. But anyways, back to Golden State. Are you taking them? Is anybody taking the Kings seriously with Zach LaVine now there? I mean, I don't know how much this changes the ceiling or the floor for Sacramento swapping out Fox for LaVine. Feels like they're just pretty much the same team, right? All right, are you taking Golden State over the Clippers? Are you taking this KD? Again, we're assuming KD and Vooch, no Draymond, no Wiggins on this team. Are you taking Golden State over this Clippers team that we've seen with Kawhi now playing close to 30 minutes a game, by the way. And I know the Clippers got spanked by the Lakers last night. Are you taking them over the Clips or the Lakers for that matter? Either LA team. I know we haven't seen this LA team with Luka. We saw Pelinka come out yesterday, say they weren't going to go after a center. Well, I'll believe it when we see it. Regulator said Monk was playing better than Fox. Kings will surprise. I don't know how much they surprise, though. I don't think they're moving up the standings. I think if they move up the standings, it's because teams in front of them are stumbling. But I don't see them catching the Wolves or anybody like that. I see them staying right in that 7 to 10 seed. Are you taking this Warriors team over Denver? You know what I'm saying? So that's why I credit the front office of Golden State in this sense. If this actually happens, they finally have come to terms with the fact that they finally come to the terms with like, listen, this roster isn't doing it, and we have Steph Curry, okay? And like, yeah, sure, maybe we're sacrificing our future a little bit, but we're still allowing a competitive team to surround a guy that saved our entire franchise, right? And if that means moving off Draymond, that means moving off Draymond. So I actually don't mind it from the Golden State side of things. People are be like, oh, it's boring, run it back, whatever. I don't know. I still don't think it makes them real title contenders. I don't think it makes them a top 4 team in the West. I think it maybe gets them out of the first round. But I mean, I guess like you could make the case, hey, Houston and Memphis aren't battle tested in the playoffs. And if we're just saying a 7-game series, give me Steph and KD over Ja in Triple J. Memphis also like can't get their guys to stay healthy. Or you look at Houston, you're like, oh, so Jalen Green is going to win me a playoff series. Weisberg said Phoenix's pick this year is owed to Utah, actually 11 through 30. Okay, thank you. So it's top 10 protected. Is that what you're saying? Anyway, so like, yeah, I guess you could, if you're the Warriors, you're like, listen, man, give me Steph and KD over Ahmed and Şengün. Give me Steph and KD. Like, okay, I'll hear it. I don't know. I mean, that's still relying a lot on guys like Moses Moody, Buddy Hield, Dennis Schroeder, who is now also available for trade. And he had some comments yesterday that I don't really want to break down because the last thing we need is some white guy explaining somebody else's take on slavery, you know? So I'm not going to do that. But I'll be fascinated to see like where this Golden State. Yeah, DJP. That's what I was saying at the top. I was saying at the top that the Mavericks was the other one. Now, I mean, if Nico all along, I actually had a video ready. Let me download it and I'll share it because this is what I'm going to share to Twitter if this goes down tomorrow. Hold on, let me find it here. Shit, I gotta scroll up a little bit. If this trade goes down and KD somehow ends up in Dallas, we all owe Nico an apology. I think that makes the trade a little bit more palatable than what we were seeing before. Hold on, come on, where is it? I want to show this video. Okay. Here we go. This is going to be a little inception-y, so I apologize. Let me share this screen now. We'll go full screen for this share. Here we go. Let's do this. Here we go. This is what I'm sharing. If that trade, if KD goes to Dallas, here we go. We're gonna find out if Nico Harrison is Steph Curry or Dion Waiters with this heat check.
They do have a timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown.
There we go. So we have that ready to go. If this trade does go down, we'll have that. We'll have that ready to go. I don't know. So we'll have to wait and see. I mean, like I think it's kind of like from an actual championship, NBA championship conversation. I don't know how much this trade moves the needle at all. But from drama, from a content, from a middle of the pack road, I love it. I think that's a lot of fun. I think it's a lot of fun. If you had told me a month ago that we were going to see Luka, Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, Jimmy Butler all change teams, I'd be like, what? So that's fun. That's fun. I'm here for that. But again, from a championship window, I don't really see it happening. And then Dallas, man, I think let's actually get into some of last night's games and we can get to some more trade stuff later. But I think let's actually start with the Dallas game because, of course, no Anthony Davis in this game, so we need to chill out here. But we did have the return of Joel Embiid, no Paul George in this one. But one of the things that we saw here at the end of the season, I mean, at the end of the game was Kyrie. They kind of like threw a trap at Kyrie, and we realized in that moment, like, oh yeah, you know what's nice? You know what was nice about the Dallas Mavericks? Like, if you do that to Kyrie, you have to deal with Luka. And if you do that to Luka, you have to deal with Kyrie. And now when you do that to Kyrie, you have to deal with Dante Exum or Kessler Edwards. Now, again, no Anthony Davis, but Anthony Davis not really a shot creator, right? Philly wins this game 118-116. Dallas drops to 26-25. Philly, like low-key, starting to play better basketball, win some games here. I thought one of the more fascinating things about this game was the Sixers starting lineup here. They started Yabusele at the 4. The Yabusele story is really cool. I mean, for him to have been out of the league, playing in Bonjour Francais, playing in France, then having an incredible Olympic run as the France team lost the finals game. Right, it was the finals game, yeah, against the U.S. Yabusele to find his way into not only into the rotation of the 76ers, but played so well while the 76ers were shorthanded that they were like, we're going to just start you at the 4, buddy. So a starting 5 of Oubre, Maxey, Embiid, Justin Edwards, and Yabusele beat the Dallas Mavericks last night. Maxey was hot, 33 and 13. Joel Embiid had a triple-double in his first game back. Played 36 minutes, by the way. Nick Nurse came out and said probably going to play him to 30 minutes, and then gave him 36, man. Gave him 36. Goes 29, 11, and 10 in this game. Pretty impressive performance by Embiid in his first game back. Looked to be relatively in good shape, good conditioning. Dallas, so Kyrie did have a game, 34, 9, and 4 in this one. But after that, I mean, like Clay went 3 for 8 from 3. He finished with 12 points. Dante Exum was like solid in the first half, only played 20 minutes. He had 14 and 4. And then you got Najee gave you 19 off the bench. Max Christie with 15 and 9 off the bench. Pretty good performance from him. But again, I like the Dallas thing is going to be so fascinating because I do think the spotlight is going to be turned up. The temperature is going to be turned up because every single loss here is going to be more pressure on the front office. And I think the Dallas players will feel it too. I think the Dallas players will feel it too because there is going to be real pressure on the Mavericks to make a postseason run here after making a trade like that in the manner that they did it. And it's so, I know we've like talked about this to death at this point about the Luka trade. But what is so unique about it is the win now aspect for it. So like, again, if you got a correct value back for Luka, and it wasn't a win now and a win later move like Nico Harrison said, then the pressure to like perform immediately would not be there. It would be frustrating if they were losing, but it wouldn't be like, oh no, we're screwed. This deal requires them, in order for it to be a successful deal, it requires them to go on a postseason run either this year or next year. They have 2 real postseason runs at this. We kind of talked about it on Monday. This also puts pressure on the Mavericks to sign Kyrie to a pretty long, or not a long extension, but an expensive extension because they need Kyrie with this team. So anyways, we are now 51 games into the season, right? This is an 82-game season, so we're more than halfway. The Mavericks are 1 game over 500 and are currently by like percentage points outside of the play-in right now, even though they are tied with a bunch of teams. I'm just saying, there's going to be a lot of pressure on that, and if they are not, if they don't make another move here in the next couple of days, or by tomorrow, I think there's going to be real pressure on Dallas to perform in the immediate aftermath, especially if you turn around and see the other teams in that range, right? If Golden State turns around and goes and gets KD, it's like, man, who are you taking? Who are you taking in a playoff series? KD and Steph or AD and Kyrie? They probably have similar ceilings as a team, right? So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Let's go to the other end of that trade. The Lakers played last night. Luka was on the bench next to his boys. I got to tell you, the conversation around the fat stuff I just find so bizarre. I was listening to Ethan Strauss, the House of Strauss, and Big Waz was on there, and just like the conversation around the fat stuff is bizarre to me. I mean, he is out of shape, but like the fat, whatever. Anyways. Lakers win this game 122-197. And look at this starting 5. Jackson Hayes, baby. Austin Reeves, LeBron James, Rui Hachimura, and Dorian Finney-Smith. They got 18 minutes out of Vando. Jared Vanderbilt, shake it up. Milton played 20 minutes, and so did Gabe Vincent, played 22. Connect played 21. This game, I mean, the Lakers put up 45 points in the first quarter. So they had a 14-point lead, a 16-point lead at the end of one. They had, I can't do the math. What's that? 24-point lead at halftime, and then just cruise control after that. LeBron put up 26, 9, and 8 in only 31 minutes. Reeves had a really good game, 29 and 6 in this one. And then the Clippers just kind of let go of the rope. I thought this was such a smash spot for Zubac. I thought Zubac going against Jackson Hayes would have just been a smash. I thought they were gonna cook them the entire night. Also, this was like the Clippers home game. So I don't know, man. I thought this was a pretty weird performance. Harden 2 for 12 from the field, 0 for 5 from 3. That was rough stuff. Kawhi played 22 minutes in this game. He would have played probably closer to 30, but because I think with like 8 minutes left in this game, the Lakers were up like 25, and the Clippers subbed everybody out. So Kawhi only finishes with 11 and 6 and 3 blocks in this one. Storm and Norman Powell, 3 for 8 from 3. He had 20 points. And then Bones Highland. Whenever Bones is in double-digit scoring, you know stuff is bad. So the Lakers now 29 and 19. They go to 500 on the road. The Clippers drop to 28 and 22. I continue to be impressed with the fact that the Lakers and the Clippers are in the top half of the Western Conference bracket. I mentioned on Monday, the Lakers' strength of schedule is one of the harder ones down the stretch. I wanted to see their upcoming schedule here. They are supposedly, right, today is Wednesday. Supposedly Luka is going to be ready for Saturday, which is weird, man. I feel like we didn't get any updates on Luka's health for a while, and now he gets to LA, and we're like, oh, Saturday. Here's the upcoming schedule for the Lakers. So, wait, why is this Charlotte and wait, this is January. I was like, what the hell? All right, so they play Golden State tomorrow, which will be hilarious. I'll be curious who's on either team tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. Then they play the Pacers this weekend, and then they got 2 games, home and away against Utah, Charlotte, Portland, before it gets a little bit tougher, right? Because then towards the end of February, after the All-Star break, you've got Denver, Dallas, Minnesota, 2 against the Clippers. Then you see New Orleans is in there, Knicks, Boston. So, but I do think what's pretty important here, if they go into the All-Star break on a little, what they've won 3 in a row, say they take 3 of their next 4 heading into the All-Star break, and that puts them at what, like 6-1 in their last 7. I do think that like sets them up nicely for the second half. They get some rest, they get some maybe even like a practice in there, right? And then all of a sudden the Lakers, whether they make a move for a big or not, become a little feistier. I am like Rob Pelinka. I mentioned this in the press conference yesterday. Also, Rob Pelinka, dude, shut up. Like he made a trade like that, and he was like, I'm going to look fly as hell. I'm going to shoot my shot, Rob Lowe. But Pelinka out there said he wasn't going to make a move. He said he wasn't going to make a move or wasn't going to force a move anyways. I still think there's something to be had here. I don't know if they're going to go get a Walker Kessler. I think Walker Kessler be a little bit more expensive. I think there was hope that maybe even like somebody like Jonas Valanciunas could be out there. I don't know. I don't know if the Lakers make a move around the edges or not, but I think shoring up their backup 5 or even starting 5, because they really are relying a lot on Jackson Hayes. Although what a story it would be if Jackson Hayes like blossomed this year. Marco said, "What's up with Mo Bamba? Nobody picking him up?" I mean, yeah, no, nobody's picking him up. I mean, it's not like he was getting real minutes anywhere he was either. Like he had to really run into some minutes, Let's actually bounce around the league here on last night's game, and then we'll go to potential movers to see if we have any other trades slop it up. So last night, some fun ones. The Celtics and Cavs. Celtics got out to, like, they held Cleveland to 15 points in the first quarter. They had a 13-point lead, and then just kind of did the Boston thing and held on for as long as they could. Donovan Mitchell did some Donovan Mitchell stuff last night. Dropped a poster and a loss, right? That's the Donovan Mitchell way. You get a big-ass highlight, a big-time highlight from Spida in an L, right? In an L. But he had a great game, so I don't want to dunk on him too much. He did take 14 threes. I think our guy Maggie Carp, shared this stat with me yesterday heading into the game because we were talking some underdog stuff, that Mitchell has averaged over 11 3-point attempts against the Celtics. And that's something to pay attention to. The Celtics are fine giving up those threes, it looks like. But anyways, 4 for 14 from 3. Finished the game with 31 points and 10 boards. Also want to do a video. I want to do a video on this. I don't know if you guys noticed this. I think it's hilarious when guards get rebounds, right? When big guys get boards, they collect themselves, look up floor, try to find a guard, right? When a guard gets a board, they usually do almost like a celebratory dribble. You know what I'm saying? Like they bounce it a little bit high, let the ball come back down, and then pick up their dribble and go. I think it's because they're like, wow, who expected this? Not me, not you. Let's celebrate. It's almost like a little Rondo thing. Rondo would do. But I noticed Donovan Mitchell, because again, he had 10 boards last night, a double-double from Spida. I thought it was just pretty funny that he did that big bounce. I don't know how many people saw it, but Darius Garland also at 25 and 3. Would point out too, Cleveland's on a back-to-back tonight against the Detroit Pistons. Shout out Detroit basketball. I wonder, the spread looks a little bit closer than it should. I wonder if we get Garland rested last week, right? Maybe Mitchell. Maybe Mitchell rests tonight. I don't know. Just throwing some spidey senses out there. For the Celtics, pretty balanced performance from everybody. Jaylen Brown, 16, 9, and 6. Only 12 shots in last night's performance. Tatum did not have a good shooting night. Finished with 22 and 7. Also had 4 stocks, though. KP played some really good rim protection defense, even though he did get smoked by Spida. He had 19 and 7 in that game. He also had 4 stocks. Drew Holiday, shout out. Oh, I was going to say Satan, but no, it's 6.6 boards and 6 defensive boards. Weird game from Drew. Derek White finally knocked down some threes. Derek White had like a 12-point. Did he have like a 12-point run for the Celtics? Maybe a 9-point run. He went nuts in the fourth quarter. Knocked down 6 of his 12 threes. Finished with 20 and 5. And then Big Al off the bench, 13 and 10, double-double. Look at this bench. Al, plus 19. Sammy Hauser, plus 18. Luke Cornett, shout out Sneeps, plus 10. Fast PP, Peyton Pritchard, plus 19. Good win for the Celtics. They moved to 36 and 15. They are now basically 5 games back from the Cavs, who are 40 and 10. This is going to be a fun playoff series. This is going to be a fun playoff series, I think. I hope we get it in the Eastern Conference Finals, but the only reason we might not get it into the Eastern Conference Finals is the Bing Bong Boys, man. The Knicks are on one right now, 121-115. They beat the Raps. A good bounce back spot the last couple games after dropping one to the Lakers, right? Karl Anthony Towns. I was like, man, I was kind of fading Cat in some fantasy stuff because it looked like he had a little finger injury. And it sounded like he was a little banged up, had a couple of piss poor performances on the fantasy side of things. Last night, nobody cures fantasy stuff like Jakob Poeltl and the Toronto Raptors defense. 27 points and 20 boards in this game. 10 for 19 shooting, 2 for 3 from 3. All 5 Bing Bong Boys in double figures. Precious Achua starting for the OG Anunoby, who's out, missed the last couple of games. Precious had 17 and 8. He had 5 stocks. Mikal Bridges, 17. Jalen Brunson, another good shooting night from 10 for 21 for the field. But he had 28 points and 5 dimes. Then Josh Hart, 15, 7, and 6. Look at these minutes, though. 41 for Bridges, 36 for Achua, 39 for Towns, 34 for Brunson, 37 for Hart. Knicks are going to be sleepy, man, but they're on a run here, 34 and 17. Raptors are without RJ Barrett. Kind of scary. So RJ, from what I saw from reporting, RJ's team, or his trainer, or maybe it was him personally, reached out to the Raptors like the night before, and they were like, hey, man, I'm not feeling great. And he's in concussion protocol, and he missed last night's game. I believe he was already ruled out for tonight's game, or is doubtful. Barnes had a tough game, 8 for 23 shooting, 23 and 5. Not great, Bob. IQ now playing over 20 minutes, so trending upwards, but still not great. Jakob Poeltl left this game injured. Only played 15 minutes. Not much to say about that, except for the fact that the Knicks now, if we look at the standings before we check out the rest of last night's action, 8-2 in their last 10, winners of 2 in a row, 2 games back from the Celtics. I mentioned the Celtics. They are 4.5 games back of the Cavs. They've now won 4 in a row, but really separating themselves now finally, right? It was kind of bunched up there 3 through 8 for a while. It's now clearly a 3-team race here in the East between the Cavs, Celtics, and Knicks, and then there's a drop-off to Pacers, Bucks, and Pistons. Speaking of Pacers, let's talk about that game last night, because we got to give the Portland Trailblazers some freaking love. The Trailblazers, what are they doing, right? 9 of their last 10, I believe they've won. Chauncey Billups is just being like, thank you. Let's keep cashing those checks. We're gonna keep coaching. I also thought Portland played like 155 minutes the night before in that OT game against the Phoenix Suns, and then last night they did not do that. However, they did limit some of their guys. Denny only played 23 minutes. Ayton only played 22 minutes, right? But Anthony Simons had 22 and 7. And then let's give Scoot Henderson some love. He had 17, 8, and 5 in this game. Scoot's been playing a much better brand of basketball. Jeremy Grant gave him 20. Tumani Kamara, making a push for an all-defensive team. He had 13 and 7. They held the Indiana Pacers to 89 points. Now, I want you to look at Halliburton's line here. Tyrese Halliburton played 25 minutes. Granted, they were on a back-to-back. He scored 0 points on 3 total shots. What's going on, Hallie? 3 total shots? Spicy P had 16 and 6. Again, very impressive win here for Portland. Now, Portland, listen, the West is too competitive for Portland to do anything spicy to make an actual run at the play-in game. But I mean, they're fine. Portland's listen, we got a young core. I mean, you look at this rotation. I mentioned the starting 5. Time Lord played 24 minutes. He had 11 boards, 2 blocks. I still do wonder if he gets moved here at the deadline. Shaedon Sharpe is kind of, Shaedon Sharpe was a lot of fun. It seemed like he was going to be a part of their starting 5 moving forward as the team got young and moved forward. That's not true. They've kind of been like, hey, how do you feel about being a 6th man? And all of a sudden, their bench looks a little nicer, right? They've got Sharpe and Scoot coming off. I would say Chris Murray's been okay for them. And then you got Klingon, who didn't play last night. But I'm curious to see what this team does at the deadline. Who did they get anything for Time Lord? I believe I saw a report that they want an unprotected first round for Time Lord. Come on, fellas. Come on. You're not going to get that. I do think you could get a heavily protected first, or I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with Time Lord here. But again, Portland, 9 of their last 10. They're now above 500 at home, 22 and 29. That's pretty impressive. The Chicago Bulls. The Bulls won this one 133 to 124. Miami Heat are now 500. Bulls, what's just so everybody's on trade watch here in Chicago, right? Vooch, Lonzo, Kobe White, even Ayo Dosunmu, all there. Matas Buzelis, man, that's who we need to talk about. Played 31 minutes last night. Did not miss a goddamn shot. 10 for 10 from the field, 4 for 4 from 3, 24 points for Matas. Our guy Taco Trey from the No Dunks crew had a great tweet last night. Matas Buzelis is 36th in the league in blocks. Matas Buzelis, 36th in the league in blocks and 244th in the league in minutes. That's crazy. That's crazy. So shout out the Bulls. The Bulls are back. They, again, will have to wait and see what they do at the deadline. We mentioned Vooch to maybe Golden State. I do think any of these guards would be a good fit in Orlando, whether it was Lonzo, Kobe, or Ayo. I think between Buzelis and Giddey, those are the only 2 guys that I believe will be on the Bulls moving forward. And also Giddey playing pretty good basketball, 24, 7, and 5. Over the last handful of games, he's been really racking up the stats. Over on the Miami hashtag Heat Culture, Bam Bam Bigelow had 23 points, 8 boards, and 4 dimes. And then Kel'el Ware, 8 for 12 from the field, knocked down a 3, 17 points, 12 boards. Need more stocks from my guy, but good stuff from him. And then listen, let's do a drop for the All-Star. 23 points, 9 dimes, 8 boards for Tyler. I need a hero. Let's do the Tyler hero drop just so I can take a sip of water. Stan saying FBI arrest Rozier. He's killing us. Yeah, you know who's been playing good, though, is Nikola Jovic off the bench. 20 from him. Jaime Jaquez, where you at, baby? 14, 5, and 4. Okay. And then Brooklyn Nets win their second game against Houston in as many tries. Houston now, I think, has lost 3 in a row. Brooklyn wins this game 99-97. Tough New York trip for the Houston Rockets. Interesting stuff. Ime Udoka, after the first loss to Brooklyn, basically was like, hey, sometimes you play when you're a good team. Sometimes you play down to your competition. Can't do that. I'm paraphrasing. That's not how he said it, but you can't do that. Well, I wouldn't have said that right before you play them again, right? They choked that game. Brooklyn played great down the stretch. They win 99-97. Amin Thompson, off game for him. He seemed sleepy. He played 40 minutes in this one. 7 points, 8 boards, 8 dimes, 6 boards, 6 stocks, which was nice. Alpi Sengun, he returned. We had 2 big beefs last night, right? We had Cat and then Sengun, 24 and 20 in this one. Jalen Green, not a whole lot going on. They missed Freddie Van Fucks last night. He didn't play. Reed Shepherd, 16 and 7. He played 28 minutes. I apologize. People in the chat during Live Before Lock were like, what about Reed? And I was like, I don't know. And then Cam Whitmore is fine, 12 and 3. Houston, yeah, like we mentioned, right? Let's go look at the Western Conference standings here as we got OKC with a clear lead on everybody else. They got a 6-game 39-9, man. Crazy. Memphis Grizzlies, though. Memphis Grizzlies 3 in a row, 9 in their last 10. They had that very impressive win over Milwaukee. They get Toronto tonight. They now have a 2-game gap over the Houston Rockets. And once again, Mikey Zacks, the NBA bit, Mr. Zakarian, comes out here, tells you 6 months in advance, book it. Memphis Grizzlies, top 4 team in the West. And here we are. Also, they haven't even run pure with health stuff. Ja plays every third game, right? Desmond Bane now without a timetable to return. He's going to miss a couple of weeks. Jaren Jackson Jr. turned into a superstar. I'm just saying. 2 years ago, we called OKC. Tonight, I mean, this year we call Memphis Grizzlies. Again, anyways, Houston Rockets now. So they've dropped. They're 5-5 in their last 10. They've lost 4 in a row. And all of a sudden, the Denver Nuggets only a game back. They are game back in the loss column of the Houston Rockets. They are 7-3 in their last 10. They play Zion for the second time. They let Trey Murphy go absolutely ham BT Dubs the other night, but they play the Pels tonight, and they're just creeping up here. And same thing with the Lakers. Lakers only 2 games out of the 3-hole. Lakers are 8-2 in their last 10. They've won 3. Clips now 5-5 in their last 10, coming back to earth a little bit, but it's still going to be a scary out. And then you got the T-Wolves, the Kangs, the Suns, the Warriors, all that stuff. Let's look at tonight's action. I mentioned a couple of those games. Bunch of teams on back-to-backs, I believe. Bucks against the Hornets tonight. We have Giannis and Dame are questionable, although it does sound like Bobby Lobby. Mr. Portis is going to be back in action. Mark Williams taking on the big boys of the Milwaukee Cucks. Cavs and Pistons, look at that total, 237.5. That's going to be fun. I'm excited for that game. Spurs against Hawks, another high total. De'Aaron Fox cleared to go. De'Aaron Fox making his Spurs debut. Weisberg was saying, did you see Kyrie's comments on AD and Durant? I did. I saw Tim Bontemps, I believe, reported on it, right? Kyrie had mentioned that him, AD, and KD all talked about playing in Boston together, which only stemmed or put gasoline on the fire of maybe KD teaming up with AD and Kyrie tonight. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Wizards and Nets. Nobody's watching that game. $8. Go to Barclays for $8, baby. You're going to pay more for parking than you are for tickets to that game. Heat on a back-to-back against the 76ers tonight. Paul George is questionable. No Embiid. That should have a lot of fantasy points in it. Memphis Grizzlies, look at this total, 238.5. No Desmond Bane, as I mentioned. Josh should be good to go. No RJ. There's Scotty right there. Grizz should have no problem with that one. Then you got the Bulls and the Timberwolves. Timberwolves, big old faves in that one. Warriors and Jazz tonight. This is going to be a sneaky fun game, I think, because the Warriors might be a little short-handed. Jazz are a home team. I don't know. Could be fun. Could get a ceiling Steph game. I wish this game was on ESPN instead of Suns and Thunder, I'm going to be honest. We got Pellies and the Nuggets. Denver 10.5-point faves. I still don't think we have Russell Westbrook or Aaron Gordon. I don't know. Suns and Thunder, and then Magic and Kings. So we got some fun stuff tonight. I don't know. Anything else you guys got for me? How am I doing in SORARE? Oh, we got Mike Bass in the chat. Hell yeah, fellas. Hell yeah. How do you think the Spurs line up with Fox? Yeah, I think CP as 6-man makes the most sense. I think it does. I think it does. I think that's what you got to do. Or you at least limit his minutes. You can stagger him a little bit. People were asking about SORARE. You were asking about, we'll do some underdog stuff too. Yeah, let me poke around with SORARE. I've actually been doing pretty good in the daily contest. We've won some stuff in daily. And then we got some okay lineups going on. By the way, so we'll look at SORARE, then we'll jump over to underdog. We'll find a pick 'em for tonight. We'll do all of that stuff. And if you guys have more questions, we'll hang around for 10 minutes so you guys can dictate where we go, baby. All right, this is what we're looking at right now. I don't really care about the common champ. So our limited, currently we're winning $5. Jokic with the 74, Mark Will with the 54. Micic is game time. If he plays, that's nice. If not, whatever. Aaron Wiggins kind of disappointed, but maybe he pops off tonight. And then Amin Thompson with the 64 was nice. Our rare champ. So this lineup is in 63rd right now. We had Joker, Bam, Ryan Rollins, we threw him in there, Jared Allen, and then Cade. So really our only hope is for Bam to go for 50 or something. And then this rare contender had KD for 51. He's not playing tonight. Mark Williams with 59. Nick Smith Jr. with 41. We got Zeke Naji with 23. And then again, could use some Micic love. This one is 1 point off of the reward, but I don't think we get there. unless Aaron Wiggins goes off. And then I don't think either of these are winning an award either. So, yeah, we got a couple of stuff over there. I did want to share some underdog crap, though, man. Oh, my God. I'm going to actually change the layout for this. Let's do that. Let's do that. And then we'll share screen to underdog because we had a brutal run. Oh, Nathan Pierce. Yeah, what's up, Nate, dog? Yeah, that's what we were talking about. The Kyrie AD KD connection. I'm telling you, man, I was texting for Nate is one of the guys. I was texting people. I was like, get ready, because we are about to have a KD trade. And I was like, I think it's gonna be Dallas or Golden State. And then all these reports came out like it was gonna happen, and then they pumped the brakes. I want to show you guys what happened on Underdog, though. We had like such a sad experience the other night. So for those that like tune in on Underdog, you guys know that I was trying to qualify. We were trying to qualify for the Dog Bowl, which is in San Diego in less than a month, or in a month, right? And so only the top 2 teams go. The top 2 teams, you win $10K. You go out to San Diego for a chance to win like $150K or $200K, whatever it is. We finished in 3rd place. Guys. Unbelievable. We had Cade Cunningham, and this was some Monday night. This was Monday night's game. Cade Cunningham, Mark Williams, Jalen Brunson, Trey Murphy, Ayton, and then Ja Morant. And when I tell you, so the last game of the night was the Blazers and the Suns. And at halftime, I was looking at the scores, and I knew I had this team coming up the leaderboard, but I looked at the leaderboard. There was one team that had Ayton in front of me, so I knew I couldn't catch him. And there was another team that had Booker in front of me that was up by 20, and I was like, I can't catch him, right? So I went to bed. And then I woke up in the morning to a bunch of messages from people and saw that I came in 3rd by, look at how freaking close this was. So the guy that came in 2nd, LOL Hot Dogs, he had 339, so 2.6 points, right? He had Devin Booker going late. Now, I don't know if you guys caught up on this game at all. Devin Booker missed a free throw to send it into double overtime. And the way Ayton was playing, we could have gotten there in double OT. So that was brutal. Just a brutal run out in the dog. But I'm not going to complain. Like, we still had a good performance. And then in the Monday Night Hoops, which is like the main contest, we had a 4th place finish here with Wemby, Mark Williams, Amon Thompson, Brunson, Morant, and Ayton. That was for $1,750, which was sick. And then we had another one for $500 with Cade, Cat, Brunson, Trey, Dyson Daniels. Dyson Daniels was the hero that night. He went crazy. So there's another Dog Bowl tonight, but I'm going to be honest, the rankings are hard tonight. The rankings are hard on Underdog because there are it's a huge slate, right? I mean, you just see everybody that's playing. If we go to, I'll show you something like a sneak peek on my ranks, right? I mean, you look at the second round, like the first 5 picks: Jokic, Wemby, SGA, Giannis. Then you have Maxey without Embiid, and most likely Paul George tonight. This is the second round: Ant-Man, Sabonis, Book. Actually got Trey and Mark ahead of Booker now. Booker without KD, although I think he's going to get Dortcher chambered. You know what I'm saying? But you look at the last round, like freaking Steph Curry's going in the 5th round against Utah. You got Fox against the Spurs, so it's going to be a crazy one tonight. Anybody got any spicy pick'ems? Anybody feeling good about anything for picks tonight? I haven't looked yet at the slate too much, so I don't know. Maybe we save this. I have a feeling we're going to do an emergency pod later today once we get some fat news, some fat trade news. I do think if Micic doesn't play, I kind of like Bridges assists, or let's see what Nick Smith Jr.'s points are right now. Let's see what Nick Smith. I don't think we're going to actually make the pick. I'm just going to look at some stuff. 12.5 points. I like Nick Smith Jr. tonight. Figuring out this Charlotte-Milwaukee game, I think, is the key. Hartenstein rebounds. This is a great call. My only concern, let's see what number that is. Yeah, if I'm going to bet on anything in that game, that's what I want it to be, because I'm just like, that game should get out of hand. What's his rebounds? Oh, yeah. I don't. Can we get it up to 13.5? Oh, 1.5x? Yeah, let's do that. That's what I would do. I'd boost that up. I like that call. Levine 20. All right, fine. We're going to freaking build one now. You guys are going to bully me. We're going to build one now. All right, I got to do it on my phone, though, because it's like, oh, we get a proxy. We get a VPN. All right, so we're going to start with Hartenstein. I'm going to boost it. I don't care, guys. You don't have to. You can just do 11.5 boards if you want. I'm doing 13.5. And then we're going to do Levine points, rebounds, and 24 points and rebounds. All right. No, that's assists. Okay, points and rebounds, 24.5. Okay, I like that. I'll put it in on this so you can see it. Let's see. Levine, we said points and rebounds. Let's do the Nick Smith Jr. one too. I like saying Nick Jr., reminds me of the good old days when I was a child. So that gets us to 8X. Is there anything else that anybody likes? Reese. Oh, yeah. Reese Shea is a good call. He's been playing some really good basketball tonight. DeAndre Hunter also in trade rumors right now, right? Oh, you said points and assists is only one extra? Oh, hell yeah. Maybe we just do that. That's a really good call, Snoop. Yeah, DeAndre Hunter and rumors to potentially go to Cleveland. I meant to bring this up earlier for Karis LeVert, which I think is like a sneaky, really good play there. I forgot to add Nick Smith Jr. on my phone. Let me do that. All right. I think we just leave it at that. That's a 14Xer. 14Xer. How are your double dribbles looking? Man, I wish they were looking better. I'm going to be honest. All right, I'm putting 20 to win 282 on that one. Again, not financial advice. Let's do the drop while I pull up the double dribble. Let's do. Come on. This is not financial advice, guys. I can't stress that enough.
None of this is financial advice. Do what you love what you do. Something like that, right?
All right, we're back. Yeah, man. What was it again? All right, hold on. I'll show you. This is what it was. Pick 'em. Here we go. I did Zachary Risache, 13.5 points and assists. Nick Smith Jr., 12.5 points. Levine, 24.5 points and rebounds. Hartenstein, 13.5 boards. Yeah, the double dribble honestly is not going as well as I would like to. I have some like hammer teams that I'm really excited about, but the advance rate is a little bit lower. I believe we're advancing like 16 right now out of the 114 we did, and then we also have like 10 in third place. So we ran pretty unlucky with the Jalen Johnson news. Our wings and Brandon Ingram, we had some of him too, so that's been tough. But we did have a lot of Trey, we had a lot of Cade, and we have a lot of Harden, so that's been looking nice. LeBron, weirdly, has been like the most consistent wing outside of Giannis and Tatum, so that's been helpful. We've had a bunch of him. And then some Jaren Jackson Jr. and DeAndre Ayton coming on strong right now. So let's see if we can find some fun ones. I thought this was a kind of a fun team here. So it's got Cade as my first guard, and then Bane, Poole, Keontae, bunch of guys doing pretty good. But Scotty, LeBron, Tobias, Sohan, whatever. Look at these bigs: Kat, Zubac, and Sar. Sar was coming on strong too before he got hurt, but hopefully Jonas Valanciunas is on a different team. We had Tatum and Miles Bridges in this one. I'm trying to find some. We had, AD, iHeart, and Zubac bigs. It's kind of fun. Let's see. I was excited about this one because it's got Cam Thomas on it. Would love to get a Cam Thomas team through, and then hopefully he shows up during the playoff run, right? Just trying to find some unique builds, right? Let's see. We had Tatum, Siakam, Ingram. I was trying to find some Mark Williams or this is the problem too, man. Jokic has just outscored everybody so aggressively, but this one has Fox, Harden, Pajemski, Sharp, Nembhard, Carrington. But the wings have been Brandon Miller out for the year sucks. Jimmy Butler hasn't been playing. So I'm basically relying on Keegan Murray, Trey Murphy, Khalil Ware coming on strong at the right time. But we have Jokic and Bobby, the Bobby Lobby. This is another Khalil Ware team that I'm excited about. It's got Harden and Giddey. Poole and Hero. That's like a great 4-guard rotation there. And then Tatum, Spicy P, Miles Bridges, and Khalil Ware. And then Durant, Pirtle, Gafford, and Onyeka. So we get some fun ones that are very live, but unfortunately we're not like cooking like we were, You got 1 out of 3, but it's going to get sweaty. Hell yeah. What do you think about Bucella's line? Bucella's? Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I don't hate that. What are his lines here? I mean, he's coming off a great game. I wonder if they boost him up a bunch. 10.5 points. Yeah, I like that. I like Bucella's. All right, gang, we're going to call it there. If we get some crazy trade stuff, I'll fire up a stream this afternoon. Otherwise, we'll be back tomorrow with the deadline show. So come hang out with us. I think either 2 or 2:30. I'll post something about it, but either at 2 or 2:30 Eastern, we'll go live tomorrow up until and after the trade deadline. Hopefully, we have some guests come through, some of the 89 Cavs members. Maybe we'll get some other friends and foes to come through. Otherwise, the NBA Bit will be back on Friday morning at 9 a.m. and then live before lock on Friday too. So go enjoy the day. Have a good one. Let's get some spicy trades. Let's do it. We out skis.